Good to have you here. This is Omni episode 40. It's May 1st, 2026, and as always, we're covering what happened from every angle. Let's look at the day's news from every angle. UK raises terror threat level to severe after stabbings of 2 Jewish men in Golders Green. The UK government has raised the national terror threat level from substantial to severe. This indicates that an attack is highly likely. The change follows the stabbing of 2 Jewish men in Golders Green in North London. A 45-year-old man has been charged with attempted murder in connection with the incident. Daily Mail coverage presents the level change as a necessary security response to the specific stabbings and the need for greater public vigilance in affected areas. The Guardian links the event to a wider pattern of anti-Semitic attacks that have left many British Jews feeling at breaking point. Government advisor John Mann stated the community questions whether the UK remains safe. International reporting from Al Jazeera situates the rise in such incidents amid global tensions that may influence domestic extremism. Both sides agree on the stabbings and the official level change. They differ on whether immediate security steps or deeper community support should take priority. The question worth considering is what specific intelligence led to the threat level increase. Meanwhile, the White House announced that a truce in the Iran war has terminated the conflict. This removes the immediate need for President Trump to seek congressional approval by Friday under war powers rules. The development follows ongoing U.S. involvement in the Middle East conflict. Officials described the ceasefire as having ended the active phase, requiring legislative action. Deutsche Welle reports the White House view that the truce has effectively paused the war powers timeline and avoided an urgent congressional vote. Other outlets note continued regional volatility and question how lasting the pause will prove amid broader tensions. Both sides agree on the existence of the truce and the statutory deadline. They differ on whether this marks genuine de-escalation or a temporary lull before further decisions. The question worth considering is what conditions define the current truce. A coroner's court report shows 66 deaths in custody and police operations in New South Wales during 2025. This represents an increase of 18 from the previous year. Almost a quarter of prisoner deaths were recorded as self-harm, mostly by hanging. The figures come despite investments to remove ligature points in facilities. The Guardian describes the numbers as profoundly distressing and calls for greater scrutiny of prison conditions and mental health support. Official reports emphasize ongoing efforts to improve safety measures while acknowledging the rise. Both sides agree on the recorded total and the self-harm component. They differ on whether current investments are sufficient or require fundamental policy changes. The question worth considering is what factors contributed to the increase in deaths. May Day rallies took place across many countries as workers protested rising energy prices linked to the U.S.-Israeli conflict with Iran. Demonstrations occurred from Islamabad to Istanbul. Participants called for peace and improved wages. The events highlighted economic pressures from ongoing geopolitical tensions. France 24 reports the rallies as a global expression of worker frustration with energy costs and conflict-related instability. Some outlets frame the protests as focused on immediate economic relief. Others connect them to longer-term calls for policy shifts on international relations. Both sides agree on the timing of the rallies and the role of energy prices. They differ on the extent to which conflict resolution should be prioritized over domestic wage demands. The question worth considering is how energy price increases are affecting households in different regions. At least 4 vessels have been hijacked off Somalia in recent weeks. This raises fears of a resurgence in piracy. Some reports connect the increase to disruptions from the Iran war affecting regional shipping and security. The trend has prompted renewed international attention to the area. Al Jazeera examines whether reduced naval presence due to the Iran conflict has created opportunities for pirates. Shipping industry voices stress the need for stronger protections on key routes. Both sides agree on the recent hijackings and the historical context of Somali piracy. They differ on the degree to which the Iran war is directly responsible versus other local factors. The question worth considering is what measures are shipping companies taking to protect vessels. BAE Systems is being sued for £120 million after ending support for aircraft used to deliver humanitarian aid. The aid was destined for countries including South Sudan, Somalia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Kenya-based operator Encom Aviation claims the move forced cancellation of contracts and reduced supplies to famine-threatened areas. The case highlights tensions between defense manufacturing and aid logistics. The Guardian reports the lawsuit as a significant challenge for the company, emphasizing the impact on vulnerable populations. Company statements focus on business decisions and contractual obligations. Both sides agree on the support withdrawal and the resulting contract cancellations. They differ on whether commercial priorities or humanitarian needs should guide such choices. The question worth considering is what alternatives exist for aid delivery in the affected regions. The correlation between the dollar-yen exchange rate and Brent crude oil prices hit its highest level since late 2021. This occurred just before Japanese authorities intervened in the currency market. The tighter link underscores how oil price movements influence the yen. Markets reacted to the data ahead of the intervention. Bloomberg reports the correlation spike as a signal of shifting market dynamics between energy prices and currency values. Analysts note the timing with intervention as evidence of coordinated policy responses. Both sides agree on the recorded correlation level and the subsequent intervention. They differ on whether the link will persist or ease after the action. The question worth considering is what caused the increased correlation between yen and oil. Before we go, tomorrow watch for further details on the planned transfer of 6 Australians from Israel to Crete. That wraps up today's Omni View. Remember, the best informed people read more than one perspective. If this show helps you do that, share it with someone who values fair coverage. See you tomorrow. This podcast is curated by Patrick, but generated using AI voice synthesis of my voice using ElevenLabs. The primary reason to do this is I unfortunately don't have the time to be consistent with generating all the content and wanted to focus on creating consistent and regular episodes for all the themes that I enjoy, and I hope others do as well.
Without taking the dive, we went on vacation. We had a nice time. My doomsday